Hi everyone, Miss Jessa from Plant the Seed here today, and I'm so excited to be able to do Kidsville at home with you all. Today, we're going to be making a Chili Verde sauce. That is actually my great-grandmother's recipe. Let's get started. So today we're going to need 10 to 12 tomatillos. Let's try counting them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we're gonna need 3 or 2 green bell peppers. We have 1, 2, 3. Here we have 1 hot pepper, and today we're using a jalapeno. And we have garlic here, and we're gonna use the cloves, and we're gonna use as many as we like, however much garlic we want in our sauce, and 1 bunch of cilantro. So now we're gonna get to our first step, which is taking our tomatillos. Do you see these really cool leaves that are on the outside of the tomatillo? They're not really edible, so we're gonna take them off. It's called shucking. So we're gonna do that to all 12 tomatillos. Now that we have taken all of these beautiful husks off of our tomatillos, we're gonna put them aside so that later we can compost them. So now we're gonna be cutting up our beautiful, green, bountiful bell peppers, and we're gonna be using our knives. So when we use a knife, we need to make sure we have a parent or guardian supervising us at all times, because knives can be really dangerous. And bell peppers, they're kind of a weird shape, aren't they? A really cool shape, but a weird one that will wobble. So we need to make sure that we use a claw. Can you make your hand into a claw? Yeah, it's pretty neat. It looks just kind of like a claw. So we're gonna hold down our bell pepper with our claw, and we're gonna take our knife, and we're gonna be very gentle and cut right through the top of that beautiful bell pepper. So now we're gonna take out the seeds. Oh, look at that. Found a little tiny baby bell pepper inside of our bell pepper. That's pretty cool, isn't it? And we're gonna put this into our compost, just like the tomatillo husks. And we're also gonna take out the ribs of our pepper, so all of this white that you see in there. We're gonna make sure those are out of our bell peppers. And they'll go straight into the compost as well. So once we have that, we're gonna take our knife again, and with our claw, we're going to cut it into sections. We're gonna cut it into fourths. Awesome. And when we're done with them, we're gonna put them over with our tomatillos. And we don't wanna be wasteful, so we're gonna actually break the top of this bell pepper off and take out its stem. And we're gonna put the stem into the compost, and then we're gonna cut each side of this in half. Yep. With our claw. Perfect. And now we are gonna do that 2 more times, okay? So this recipe is pretty special to me. It was given to me by my birth mother very recently, actually, when she got to come and stay with me for a bit. And She got to teach me a whole bunch of different family recipes that I didn't know. And this was one of them, and I am so excited that I get to eat Chili Verde whenever I want now. So now we are going to boil some water. We're gonna put some salt in that water. Salt always just helps bring out the taste of any dish that you make. It's nice to have that little bit of salty just to make all of the other tastes in your dish really stand out. So once this starts to boil, we're gonna put our tomatillos and put our bell pepper inside of the water to boil. And then we're gonna put a lid on top of it. So you won't see it right away. You won't really see it because of the lid, but it will start to get warmer and hotter and start cooking all of the food inside of there. What do you think is gonna happen to the tomatillo after it's been in a boiling pot for a bit? It could be really interesting. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. So as we were boiling our water, a huge summer storm came down and watered our garden for us, which was so nice of it. But now we get to start cooking again. So happy to get going on this next step. So right now our water is boiling. We need to be really careful around boiling water because it is so hot. That's how you can see all of like the little bubbles in there. That's how we know it's so hot, because this water is heating so much that air bubbles are just being produced and they go up to the top. So now we're gonna be putting these into our boiling water. Because it's boiling, I'm actually gonna put some of them inside of here and gently drop them inside of the pot so I don't hurt any of my fingers. We're gonna put all of our tomatillos and all of our bell peppers inside of the boiling pot of water. So now we're gonna take our lid and put it on top of our bell peppers and tomatillos, and we're gonna check on this in a few minutes and see if it's the color and consistency that we want. Next, we're gonna prepare some of our other ingredients that are going into our sauce. So, do you remember the garlic cloves? We're going to have to peel the garlic cloves. So the way I like to do it is I like to use our knife. We need to be careful once again because knives can cut us. But I like to use the flat end of our knife and press down onto the garlic clove, and it kind of splits open the garlic to help make it easier to peel. Yeah. See how easy that was? And then I like to cut off the very end, and then we put it all into the compost. Garlic cloves, because I love garlic. It's one of my favorite things to put in any dish. So I usually put in a little extra. And next, our jalapeno. Now we need to be careful with jalapeno because it's a very spicy pepper. And if we're handling jalapeno and we cut it, we don't want to touch our eyes or our mouths or any sensitive part of our body because it could burn. So when you're using a knife and cutting this up, you want to be as careful as possible. So you don't want it on you. So let's use our claw. And then I'm going to cut it down the middle. And you see all of these seeds inside of the jalapeno? That's where the majority of the heat is. So we're gonna take out all of those seeds. And then we're gonna put it in the compost. So now that we've gotten everything else prepped for our sauce, let's check in on our tomatillos and our bell peppers. Oh wow, look at that. The color has changed. It looks like everything is about ready. So let's turn off our machine. So let's take a closer look at a couple of these tomatillos. See if you notice anything. Find a good one. It's a little too long if they start splitting. Oop, this one split. Whoa, look at that. It was so hot in there that the tomatillo skin split. So you can see some of the seeds from inside of it. Do you notice anything about the tomatillo's color? Do you remember what it looked like before? Yeah, it's kind of become a little more yellow. It's pretty neat. So now we're gonna take our tomatillos and our bell peppers and we're gonna put them inside of a food processor. Whoa, look at this one. The skin's almost completely come off. You can see all those cool little tiny seeds inside of it. Here's the last little bit. Now we're gonna let them cool in there for just a little bit. And so you wanna make sure there's some water in there with the tomatillos and the peppers. Hopefully about 1/4 cup. So something about this size. So we already have some water in there, so we should be good. I also like to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. It doesn't need much though, because we already have a pretty spicy pepper in there. And now we're going to add in our other ingredients. We're gonna put in our jalapeno. And we're gonna put in our garlic. And then our last ingredient is cilantro, but we're not gonna put that in just yet. And then we're gonna be putting in chicken stock or a bouillon cube. And now we're gonna blend it all together. So we've finished blending our tomatillos and our peppers. So now we're gonna put in our cilantro. And this is how much I've decided to put in. I actually really like cilantro. So we're gonna put it in through the top. Oops, some fell. We're gonna squish it down in there. And now, instead of just blending it, we're gonna pulse it into our dish. Because we want them to stay kind of chunky in our sauce. Look at how beautiful it is. Can you remember everything that we put inside of our Chili Verde sauce? Yeah, we had tomatillos, green bell peppers, 1 hot pepper of your choice if you decided to use a jalapeno, garlic, cilantro, and chicken stock or a bouillon cube. So now that we've made our green sauce, we can do all sorts of things with it. But if you want to make chili verde, you can put it and cook it with some chicken or pork. And you don't have to use it right away. You can put it in your fridge and save it for another day. But you can put it with all sorts of things. It is quite delicious, and I can't wait to see you all try this for yourself. Thank you so much, and I'm so glad that we got to make this chili verde together. Goodbye!